If slow movement looks weak to you, try one small thing. Reach toward an imaginary cup as slowly as you can. Before your fingers arrive, watch what appears: a tiny wobble, a held breath, a shoulder that wants to climb, a wrist that hurries ahead of the arm. That is why many Chinese elders move so slowly. They are not trying to look slow. They are testing something modern workouts often rush past: control before speed. Here is the rule for this episode: the control before speed rule. Before a movement becomes bigger, faster, or more impressive, the body should be able to feel where it is, how it is breathing, and whether the motion stays clear from beginning to end. Today, Master Chen will show you 3 misunderstandings about slow movement. First, people confuse slow with easy. Then they confuse slow with weakness. And the most subtle mistake is confusing slow with limp relaxation. After that, you will see one small home version you can understand without learning a full Tai Chi form. Modern workouts often count output: how many steps, how many minutes, how many repetitions, how much resistance. Those numbers can be useful, but they can also distract a beginner from the thing that matters first. Master Chen first checks control. This is where the mistake begins, because a movement can look finished while the body behind it is still confused. A fast movement can look successful because it finishes. The arm gets there, the foot lands, and the class moves on. But finishing the motion is not the same as understanding the motion. Speed can hide confusion. Slowness gives that confusion time to show itself. In Taiji descriptions, you often see slow, gentle movement, posture, focused attention, and controlled breathing mentioned together. In Qigong, posture, breath, movement, and mental focus are often coordinated. You do not need mystical language to understand the practical point. The body is being asked to organize itself before it performs. Misunderstanding 1: slow means easy. At first, that sounds reasonable. If a movement is slow, it must be softer. If it is softer, it must be easier. But this is the part most fast workouts never show you. Try the cup reach again in your mind. If you snatch the cup quickly, the shoulder can jump and the breath can stop, but the mistake is over before you notice it. Slow the reach down, and suddenly the small problems have nowhere to hide. The elbow wants to flare out, the jaw tightens, the fingers grab before the hand arrives. The body tries to finish with momentum instead of control. Slow is not easy when there is nowhere to hide. Modern workouts ask how many. Slow Chinese movement asks how clearly. A beginner may do 10 fast repetitions and feel productive. One slow reach may reveal more, because it shows whether the body can carry the movement without rushing through the uncomfortable part. Misunderstanding 2: slow means weak. This misunderstanding is more dangerous because it mixes 2 different things. In daily life, weakness can make a person move slowly. That is real, and it should not be romanticized. But practiced slowness is not the same as struggling slowness. Practiced slowness is chosen. It is the slow pace of someone studying the movement, not someone trapped by it. The visible motion is quiet, but the attention inside it is busy. Watch an elder moving slowly in a park. The hand may rise as if nothing is happening. But look closer. The shoulder is not jumping. The breath is not being stolen by the movement. The wrist is not racing ahead of the rest of the body. The foot is not simply surviving the step. Modern workouts reward finishing the motion. Master Chen watches what happens before the motion finishes: the breath, the shoulder, the jaw, and the small hesitation that appears before the hand arrives. That is the lost rule modern workouts forgot. They often reward speed before the beginner has noticed control. The person at home copies the outline, changes sides with the video, and feels busy. But the inner order may never appear, because the movement was never slowed down long enough to be studied. Now comes the misunderstanding that fools many beginners. Misunderstanding 3: slow means relaxed. Relaxation matters, but too much softness can hide the same problem as too much speed. An arm that hangs without attention has lost its shape. A knee that collapses is not relaxed in a useful way. A breath that feels soft while the posture disappears is not the kind of calm Chinese movement is trying to build. Relaxation without structure becomes collapse. This is the midpoint of the rule. Slow movement is not just about moving less, it is about making the hidden parts of the movement visible. The breath, the shoulder, the jaw, the wrist, the feet, the return. The return is important. Many people can reach slowly toward the cup. Fewer people can return the hand slowly without dropping attention. The reach tells you one thing. The return tells you whether control stayed with you after the easy part was over. This is where slow movement becomes useful at home, not just beautiful in a park, because the same test can happen beside a chair, near a counter, or before the first step into a room. Try the slow cup test. Sit or stand near something stable. Feel your feet on the floor or feel the seat under you. Let the breath be natural. Reach slowly toward an imaginary cup. Notice the breath, the shoulder, the jaw, and the wrist. Then return the hand as slowly as you reached. Ask one question. Did I control the return or only the reach? Treat this as an observation test, not a full routine. You are not trying to prove strength, and you are not trying to perform Tai Chi. You are looking for the moment where speed usually covers up confusion. If you feel pain, dizziness, unusual weakness, or anything unsafe, stop and get qualified guidance. When the test is done, do not judge it too quickly. A stopped breath tells you something. A lifted shoulder gives you another clue. A wrist that moves before the rest of the body shows where the hurry begins. If the return was harder than the reach, that may be the most useful discovery of all. Modern workouts often celebrate the part everyone can see: the finish, the count, the sweat. Slow Chinese movement pays attention to the part that disappears when you rush. How the movement begins, how it travels, and whether it can return with the same control. That is why the title says slow equals strong with a question mark. Slow is not magic, and it is not automatically strength. But slow can make control visible. When control becomes visible, a beginner finally has something real to study. Chinese elders do not move slowly because slow is magic. They move slowly because slow makes control visible. That is the control before speed rule in ordinary language. Before you ask how fast you can move, ask whether you can see what is moving. Tell me in the comments, when you try to move slowly, what shows up first? Your breath, your shoulder, your jaw, your wrist, or your first step? Subscribe if you want more simple Chinese movement principles explained for beginners after 60. In the next episode, Master Chen will show the Tai Chi mistake that makes beginners quit after 60. The hands move beautifully, but the feet never learn where to go.